Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good.
Hello. Oh, sorry.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Missed the
I
key
missed
there.
the chance. I missed the chance. Yeah.
One more time. Good.
Good.
Gentlemen.
That's horrible. We
Good
shouldn't do
evening, ladies
this.
and gentlemen, and hello to the post-race show for round 3 of the XOX Esports Challenge. We're at the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit for what has been an absolutely fantastic race, hasn't it, Tuku?
It has been really, really exciting for me. I'm watching from the spectators' view yesterday, and a bunch of highlights. That's what I got tonight.
We've got
Stay
some
tuned.
nice stuff lined up for you this evening. So my name is Matthew Palmer, and with me in the studio is Tunku Ershad. And just
That's
to let
me.
you guys know, this is what they're battling for. The XOX Esports Challenge is a one-make race series with 2 different classes in partnership with XOX Mobile and all our sponsors. 60 drivers in 2 categories battle for a fantastic prize pool of 25,000 ringgit. A special thanks goes out to XOX Mobile, One XOX, XOX eSIM, as well as Estremo Oil, and our media partners for this evening, Gallery Creator. They're absolutely fantastic platform for automotive content. So do check them out. Absolutely fantastic guys to work with. Now we're on Shopee for some reason. There we are.
Oh.
That's the reason why we're on Shopee. You can get their merch on the Shopee store. Look at that. Some pretty fantastic stuff there. It's quite cheap
Very
actually as
great
well.
merch. I'll get one of those. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
PKP,
it's really, really
PKP
nice.
shirt.
Oh yeah.
I can wear it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's pretty good, and it's really
How
nice.
much is it? That's quite a steal, for that price to get.
Yeah.
All right then.
And these
I'll
are
be
high
heading
quality
into that.
certs. These are high quality certs, so don't miss out on your chance to pick up some Gallery Creator merch. Of course, with all the rest of the guys being locked up due to NCO, they haven't quite been able to get to all those wonderful car shows, and haven't been able to gather all the latest information on the hottest builds. But for now, you can support them by heading over to their merch store, and when they come back, they're going to come back with a vengeance, really showing off the hottest cars out there being built. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
And so now we're going to head over to the AM highlights. The AM race was absolutely spectacular right from the get-go. Now watching going down into turn 1 here, for once, everyone sort of got through nice and clean. We all expected that there was going to be quite a lot of drama coming to turn 1. That didn't quite work out, but turn 2 was just slightly comical.
That's true. Have a look at this. Almost all of the top 10 leaders here went wide out of turn 2 to get a pretty good entry into turn 3, I guess. But they all went wide, which is kind of funny to see how they started out. Yeah.
They all decided that they have to use the runoff area. I think a lot of it was down to cold tires as well, and trying to make sure that they gave enough space to the guy on the inside there. But it's counted, I believe there was at least 15, if not more, cars that went wide at the first corner there. But it was a very, very tense first lap of the race, with the cars dodging and dicing, trying to get their way through. I think they went 4 wide, if not 5 wide.
Yeah, I was about to say, coming down turn 1, I was about to say they were some rubbing, some banging here and there, but no major pile-up or collisions in this turn up into turn 2 as well. So the first few sectors, first few turns was quite clean. If I must say so, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite wonderful to see the drivers go through all the ingredients for carnage at turn 1 were there, clear and present, but everyone managed to get away with it. So Paduka, apa perasaan dapat tengok clean start walaupun agak terabur sikit?
Ya, seperti yang kita jangkakan, di mana pelumba-pelumba sudah ada chemistry di antara satu sama lain. Kemudian kita dapat lihat pelumba-pelumba sudah mula, orang kata, tahu macam mana nak apa orang kata, nak faham karakter kereta dan juga pesaing mereka. Dia dah tahu dah, dia dah boleh jangka dah apa yang mereka akan buat. Kalau kita tengok daripada timing mereka, tak jauh beza pun. millisecond je dekat belakang. So dekat situ dia orang dah boleh agak dah. Dan dia orang boleh predict sendiri apa yang mereka boleh jangkakan sebenarnya.
Ya, itu dia. So memang boleh dikatakan semakin lama semakin bagus perlumbaan pada masa ni.
Betul lah tu. Saya pun setuju dengan Paduka. Kita dah round 3 sekarang ni. Kita dah boleh nampak driver-driver dekat dalam kelas masing-masing semua dah serasi dengan cara-cara masing-masing. Jadi first start ni I can see ada banyak improvement lah from first few rounds of this Esports Challenge, XOX Esports Challenge ni. So looking forward to see the next round. Tengok macam mana dia start. So this is quite of an improvement, tapi still ada a few collisions, but we'll have a look into that maybe very, very soon.
Yep, absolutely. And by the way, the third voice you're hearing there is Paduka Shoaib, our clerk of the course. So memang boleh dikatakan antara orang kuat dalam series ni lah. So thanks a lot to Paduka for joining us this evening. Really giving us that extra edge when it comes to these things. Roy Charles, that one with Azrael and Ken Keck sandwich at the Mercedes Arena.
This was
pretty tricky driving through here.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I'll let the video just tell you out how it happened here.
That was
right about
cars.
Here. Ooh, sandwich in between these two cars, but he still managed to walk away unscathed. I guess you can say the Mazda this season has been been buffed up a little bit, because I remember if this were to be last season, he might have some wheel damage. He might be limping into the pit stop back in this lap. So
Absolutely. So Paduka, kita nampakkan 4 kereta nak masuk dalam selekor tu, tetapi satu tu terlajak keluar.
Itu normal dalam perlumbaan sebenarnya, tapi kita sedia maklum di mana bila perlumbaan alam maya ni kita harus ada sedikit kesabaran lah kot di mana dalam perlumbaan ni yang paling utama adalah kita kena jaga kita punya jarak tu sebenarnya. Bukan tak boleh raba, boleh bumper to bumper, door to door, boleh, tak ada masalah. Cuma kadang-kadang macam kita pernah pesan di season yang sebelum ni, dan saya mungkin terlupa sebenarnya nak pesan di season yang baru ni. Kita nak kena patah balik semula, nak mention bahawa kadang-kadang kita kena akui yang mungkin ping kita bagus, tapi ping orang lain tidak sebagus, ataupun mungkin kedua-duanya ada masalah. Dan jarak di antara kereta tu kita rasa macam tak ada apa-apa, tapi sebenarnya dah mula ada pelanggaran. So kat sini kita kena jagalah.
Kita jaga kita lah.
Kita jaga kita.
Kita jaga kita.
Kita jaga kita.
Spanish slang.
Kita jaga kita. Okay. That's true.
There we go. Paduka's advice for this evening: give just a little bit of extra space, because you never know quite how good the internet connection is for your opponents. Now we're heading off to the next bit. This is pretty insane, this 4-way battle between Umar Aziz, Shami Hafiz and Bobby. This is lap 3 of the race. You can see the cars going left, right and center, around the outside, around the inside. I believe that might be Surin in the middle there, trying desperately to keep himself as high up the leaderboard as possible, coming down through the flat out kink here. The cars chopping and changing the entire time. Absolutely very intense battle, wasn't it?
It is. This is the lap 4. Very fantastic battle between, as you mentioned, Melvin, Surin, Mizi and Bobby at the very back there. And as you can see, in the first 2 cars here, the lead cars here, were exchanging leads here and there, and quite cleanly too. It's amazing to see this.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. We can see there Surin going around the inside of Melvindijit there, coming down the straight there. This was one of the best, the highlights for me, one of my favorite moments in the entire race. This battle that went on for half a lap. In fact, it actually went on off camera for about 2 or 3 laps. Really, really enjoyable stuff.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, Paduka, apa pandangan battle ni? Memang shock jugalah tengok kan?
Shock battle ni sebab macam kita cakap, mereka duduk dalam kelompok yang tak, kadang-kadang bila kita tengok race memang yang di hadapan, kelompok hadapan tu lebih menarik, tapi kadang-kadang kita terlupa nak pandang di kelompok-kelompok belakang. So bila kita tengok di battle di kelompok yang belakang ni, diorang memang bagi satu persembahan yang wow lah sebenarnya. Dengan battle yang diorang tunjukkan dengan semangat yang memang kalau tengok daripada awal, rasanya kita dapat lihat sebenarnya hampir 5 lap lah sebenarnya fight diorang ni.
Ya,
Betul juga tu.
memang boleh dikirakan race yang memang enjoyable walaupun bukan untuk tempat yang pertama, tetapi dapatlah puasan battle yang agak keras tu. So there we have it, a fantastic battle between as you say, Melvin, Surin, Mizzy and Bobby. Fantastic stuff there indeed. Now coming up to the next section at the moment, we have I believe the other battle as well coming down the straight here. That's the 6-car train.
This is hold on a minute. I think I know this one in particular. This is the lap 3 4-way battle.
That's it.
Between Umar Aziz, Shami Azri, Hafiz, Muhammad Hafiz, and Bobby. Yeah.
So
This is quite of a battle as well. Look at that. Some contact over there into the Mercedes arena, and they're still racing really hard here. But again, I like to point this out that these guys are racing early on in the first few laps already, because this is more of a sprint race. But I think maybe if they hang out a bit and warm up the tires a little bit more, maybe they could attack at the end of the stage. But this is their strategy. I'm just saying these guys are trying out different strategies as well. So even if it's a 25 minutes race, it's still a 4D chess game for these people out here. Yeah,
a lot of drivers trying the push hard and push early strategy. Some of the other drivers trying to keep their car going a little bit longer. But you can see those two guys really driving the cars aggressively. These may be sports cars, technically speaking, but you can really drive them hard like a touring car to really get the performance out of them. But of course, it's high risk, high reward. It's one of those things that we like to talk about a lot here, that risk-reward ratio, trying to go for, if you're going for the high-risk strategy, it better have some big rewards. But these guys are really entertaining us with this battle there.
This is giving me BTCC vibes all over again.
Yeah, absolutely. So, pada pandangan Paduka, apa perasaan Paduka tengok battling macam BTCC ni?
Sebenarnya battling BTCC ni ialah dengan update terkini pada kenderaan Mazda ni, dia memang different lah. Kalau siapa main Mazda ni daripada awal dulu, memang dapat rasakan sendiri apa orang kata dia punya battle. Mana kalau dulu kita nak jumpa Mazda ni bumper to bumper, door to door memang sangat susah. Sebab bila berlaku je macam tu, memang salah seorang memang akan ke dinding ataupun ni lah. Tapi bila update yang terbaru ni, dia dapat letakkan bila kita dapat tengok macam ni kan, door to door, bumper to bumper, so kita rasa perlombaan tu jadi lebih seronok. Dan sebenarnya bukanlah driver tu sendiri nak kalau kita tengok daripada sudut yang lain, mungkin orang kata macam langgar ataupun tidak. Sebenarnya BTTC punya style dia bukan macam tu. Dia door to door, bumper to bumper tu adalah normal selagi dia tak keluarkan orang tua, maksudnya panting ataupun dive bomb lah. So touching ni memang menarik ah.
So boleh dikirakan touching is okay tapi hitting not okay.
Ya, betul.
Ada beza.
Memang ada beza. Macam mana nak agak benda tu memang perlukan orang kata seat time, dan juga kalau dalam perlombaan online ni dia lebih pada 90% nak letak pada luck kot.
Betul juga.
Jadi kadang-kadang dia bernasib baik, kadang-kadang dia tak bernasib baik, tapi selagi dia boleh faham karakter kereta tu dan selagi dia tahu kat mana dia nak brake ataupun limit dia dekat mana, selagi tu kita boleh tengok battle yang macam ni
very exciting. Still just to remind you guys, kita masih dalam amateur punya kelas. Dia orang ni fighting almost almost like a pro punya level lah tengok dia punya.
Different kan,
Very
different
tight,
daripada
yeah.
start,
Agak different
daripada
juga lah.
round 1 pergi ke round 2, round 3 dia dah mula ada tu, macam cakap, dia dah ada apa, dia panggil chemistry, dia dah mula serasi dengan orang sekeliling, and then mereka dah mula enjoy dengan suasana perlombaan tu.
Ya, itu dia. Selagi lama dia berlumba, selagi itulah dapat pengalaman.
Yes.
So it really is the experience that's so important in these types of situations. That it's not something that you can do at a track day or just lapping on your own. You really have to get into the racing and battling with other cars out on track, especially where the stakes are this high. That really sweetens the deal. So these AM drivers really are just AM, just about in name only. They're really battling like pros out there.
That is true, man. That we were seeing exciting battles from the start of the race until the end of the race. So, heck, kudos to these guys, man.
Absolutely. Special thanks goes out to Putra Mustaza and Cheryl Norifuddin for the like and the share. And we'll have just a quick look at those comments there. Akunya insiden dah lepas ke? Lagi ke dah totally terlepas?
Tak ada. But yeah, Iman, hi, Putra Mustazal dah. Thank you for the like, Sharon Norifuddin. Thanks for the share. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
We have another one, Surin. Yeah.
Yep. There you go, Vin Malvid. Good fun and lots of respects given. Ample space and clean racing is what gives the most enjoyment for the racing. Absolutely good stuff out there. You can see the level of respect and the level of community building up quite nicely. But now we have a quick look at this, the fifth incident we're going to highlight for this post-race show. This is that 6-car train ending the 5th lap with Melvin, Kenkek, Mazdi, Madno, Jasri, Sharul Jafar. All these people. All together.
Oh yeah. Ending the 5th lap. This is not the final lap. Just to remind you, this is the 5th lap.
Very close stuff in there. In fact, just a little bit too close going through that chicane. And that chicane was giving a lot of drivers a lot of problems throughout the course of the race. A very tight entry. So if you find yourself side by side with another car, you can find yourself in a really difficult situation.
Indeed, man. I remember informing the drivers in the briefing to take it easy in the chicane, especially in the first few laps, because you're gonna find yourself either with a slowdown or with a broken heart, like Kenkek here. I mean, that's a pretty hard crash, and abruptly stopped the other cars as well. So you can see it's almost a multi-car pileup. But yeah, the traffic seems to be cleared up after that, and yeah, you can say it's more of almost a major incident, but managed to avert quite badly. Yeah.
But I mean, you could actually see there, apart from that small little friendly tap coming into the final corner there, that what stopped it from becoming a massive incident and just a minor bit of fender bender at the chicane was that level of respect we were talking about again. The drivers have learned to not just jump back onto the throttle in these situations, but instead try and pick their way around, get clear of the incident zone, and try and either keep driving or go to the pits. So you can see that the drivers are definitely increasing in their level of maturity and their level of respect for each other quite a bit. Obviously, I'm pretty sure a couple of these guys might have had some choice words for each other. It's not a fun way to have your race impacted like that. But at the same time, it's nice to see that they managed to gather themselves up and get themselves going relatively smoothly.
Yeah, you can say so. That is true.
As smoothly as you can expect. So, apa pandangan insiden pada masuk dalam chicane ni yang agak ketat juga ya?
Okay, kalau kita dapat lihat mungkin first punch tu dia terperanjat mungkin driver ni. So bila dia first pelanggaran punch tu, dia tak sepatutnya dia slow down yang terlalu slow sangat nak masuk chicane tu. And then apabila ada kereta lain yang kita dapat lihat cuba untuk masuk kereta hijau ni, dia nak masuk dan ada sedikit pelanggaran berlaku kat situ. Saya rasa yang menyebabkan dia nak masuk kat pit ni mungkin dia kena serve penalty. Sepatutnya dia dah boleh jangka yang dia kena masuk, so dia kena bagi dulu kereta tu lalu dan dia masuk kat pit.
Kita huru-hara sikit lah.
Yes, so sebenarnya kadang-kadang itulah bila ada dive bomb ataupun ada pelanggaran di belakang, sepatutnya teruskan je dulu perlombaan tu. Teruskan sampai walaupun kita tahu mungkinlah pada ketika itu kemungkinan yang boleh berlaku adalah mungkin kereta kita terlalu teruk ataupun kita kena serve penalti. Kita ada saluran di mana kita boleh protes dan kita masuk je pit. Kita tak boleh nak jangka benda-benda macam tu kan, tapi kalau boleh di masa akan datang jangan terus break mengejut dan nampak seakan akan menghalang laluan di sini.
Itu dia. So just before we carry on there, just another comment there, Jasri Junus, itu pun my incident lah. Baru saja nak bagi jalan nak keluar, nak lari daripada tu, tapi tak apalah. Terima kasih kepada JJ yang point that out. So terima kasih kepada Maija Hafiz dan Fazlullah. So thanks to those two guys for the likes, and thanks also to all of you out there. Do leave a comment down below. We'll try and get through them through the course of this post-race show, and we'll love to hear from you about your thoughts of the events throughout the AM and Pro races. So now we're going to head over to the podium, and I suppose you could say it's a surprise, but at the same time, not quite a surprise as well. Afizul Azhar, yet again at the top step of the podium, really pulling away from the front of the field. He takes home $300 for Hyperball's Tornado, with Kamal Ali in second for the 1XOX TKKR Racing Team M, and Shami Azri for Just Keep Racing in third place with 200 and 100 ringgit respectively. Afizul Azhar, aka Jai Bluebird, definitely one of the standout drivers of the AM season so far.
He's a rich man right now, Max. He's been cashing in for the past few rounds. So if you want to ask him for anything, maybe this is the time.
Absolutely. If you have a favor to ask, or if you need to borrow some money, that might just be the man to ask, just quietly. So Afizul's in first, Kamal Ali there in second place, Shami Azri, and again a fantastic result for him to get himself up into third place. Umar Aziz doing quite well for himself in fourth, Zikri in fifth, Hafiz in sixth place, that's Pit Jordan I believe, and Sharil Nurifuddin in seventh, with Azrael Nazli in eighth, Lloyd Lachlan in ninth, and Simon Sanchez in 10th. In ninth and 10th there, Lloyd and Simon finally having some reprieve, getting up there and scoring multiple, or getting into the top 10 at the very least there, because they have had the worst possible luck between the both of them throughout the course of the first three races. Finally, they've managed to get themselves at the end of the race in the top 10 there. Sometimes it's just one of those things. It just ain't your season sometimes. But the
championship chooses you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It chooses the winner for sure.
Yep. So Umar, as is there, lap 110 cars into T1 was crazy. Mock TV of his tarik masuk pro lah. Who knows, maybe we might have a promotion relegation system later on. And there'll be more work for you, I guess. Oh man, you can imagine trying to get through all the the Excel sheets. By the way, Ershad is our Excel master for this season. Whoa. So if you guys have any,
I want to say that, yeah. I just barely touch whatever I can do with Excel, but I got something to do with Excel, yeah.
Don't worry, you know a lot more about Excel than I do. I can barely fill up the cells.
You can say that I excel in Excel. Never mind. Thank you very much.
We'll be here all night, guys.
Yeah. Sky's the limit. Right, rounding up to the finishing, to the end of the Drivers' Championship here. In 21st, we have Muhammad Jasri bin Muhammad Yunus with 1 league points, overall in the scoring for these results, with Tarmizi in 22nd, Kenket in 23rd, Roy Charles in 24th, and 25th, Afiq Fadlan Abdul Rahman and Kelvin T in 26th, with 4 laps behind. Yeah, we can see some retirements in this race. Yeah,
absolutely. Again, a couple of drivers, actually, you could say that the bottom 6 pretty much really had quite a lot of bad luck throughout the course of the race there. JJ, Jasri Junos, Tamizi, both very quick drivers. Afiq Fadlan and Kelvin T, very unlucky to have not been able to finish the race any higher up. But of course, our wild card, Roy Charles, again, another unlucky victim of the race there. A lot of people that are actually quite quick down at the bottom half of the field. It just goes to show that this is not an easy race to drive in by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, you can say so. I mean, again, we're driving in virtual reality, in a virtual space, so
yeah,
it's also very, very different.
Yeah. So we have the Shami Azri, replay my battle with Hafiz, please. Mana last lap battle. We do still have the live stream out there on Facebook, so we're just going to have a quick look at some of the highlights throughout the course of the race. But of course, there's a lot more stuff in the full live stream, which is already back up in Facebook. You can watch all 3 rounds right now on demand at your leisure. Fantastic stuff to watch through. It'll be great, great fun indeed. Now let's have a look at the amateur class team standings. Android King Hyperbulls really beginning to put their foot down in the championship. Just keep racing. It still has a chance to try and catch up, but it's slowly becoming a 2-horse race between these 2 teams. Stream.my in 3rd with 37 points, and one XOX TKKR racing team. A huge, huge help for them in the championship. They're now in the 4th position, 34 points. Now remember, Kama Ali is the only point scorer in the team. So it's a very, very big ask for him to try and drag that team all the way up to 4th place. I'm pretty sure Bobby Farid will be very, very pleased with that. And we have actually kept tabs on Bobby Farid's points scoring efforts with that team. If he was to score points, they would have had 41 points, bringing them up to 3rd place. So that's our season-long wildcard, having quite a bit of fun there in the 1XOX TKKR e-racing team in 4th. Toda Asia in 5th, Hyperpool's Bushwhacker in 6th, and Veteran MSR in 7th.
Interesting first till 10th the standings, in the team standings there. I would like to see more changes in the standings because, you can see how close they are. And we got 3 more rounds to go. So I'm looking forward to see this.
Oh, yeah. Definitely
become a little bit blooming. Yeah.
Even though the gap seemed quite big, remember, we're only at the halfway point of the season, and as Jebob always says, anything can happen. Afizul Jai is leading the championship, however. 68 points, plays 45 for Muhammad Zikri, but it's all very close for the battle for 2nd place between Zikri and Kama Ali. Both drivers have a very decent shot of getting that 2nd place there. And of course, Afizul Jai isn't mathematically too far away yet to claim the championship just yet, but he is definitely in a very commanding position there. Azra Nazi in 4th, Simon Sanchez in 5th, Shami Azri is in 6th, and Lloyd Lachlan is in 17th place. So, Paduka, apa pandangan pada situasi championship sekarang dengan Fizul Jai dan Bushwhackers berada di tempat hadapan sekarang?
Sekarang Hafizul Jai sedia maklum di mana pelumba drifter masih lagi mengekalkan orang kata kedudukan, masih lagi bertahan untuk merangkul nak memegang overall champion ni. Dan suka untuk saya orang kata highlightkan pelumba yang berada di nombor 6, Shami Azri, di mana kita dapat lihat 2 perlumbaan yang tidak menyebelahi beliau, tapi dia kembali semula untuk round yang ketiga. Dan memang kalau ikutkan teammate dia tu, Muhammad Zikri tu, walaupun kita tengok timing tu kan, tapi boleh saja kedudukan Fizul tu dirampas, boleh saja.
Betul.
Tapi kalau kita tengok banyak yang request untuk Fizul Jai dicampak ke kategori pro, tapi sebenarnya kalau kita tengok dari segi timing, sebenarnya bila timing qualifying mereka memang duduk dalam kelompok yang sama laju sebenarnya.
Betul.
Cuma bila ada beberapa benda yang mungkin Hafizul Jai dia survive untuk dia konsisten untuk pergi ni, dan suka juga untuk saya highlightkan kat sini. Saya akhirnya menang untuk 1-0 dengan geng-geng BR, di mana Hafizul Jai menggunakan triple screen duduk di
Oh,
hadapan.
okay.
Saya
Itu
kena
dia.
ucapkan bangga. Saya faham sekejap lagi di ruangan komen tu akan ada kecaman-kecaman di situ. Saya sengaja je. Pihak director ada telefon tadi. Dia kata tolong create kontroversi sikit. Inilah kontroversi di mana triple screen berada di nombor 1. Okay.
Jom.
Sorry.
Mana geng VR? Mana geng VR?
Maaf saya
Komen
teremosi.
bawah geng VR.
Maaf teremosi. Tapi macam saya cakap, round 3 yang sudah pun berlalu ni memang Hafiz Zoja dia ada, tapi untuk orang kata keselesaan tu masih lagi Muhammad Zikri masih lagi ada peluang, dan gandingan mantap Syahmi yang sedang nampak ni mula kembali ni, Azrain Nadli memang kita sedang maklum godfather dalam scene Malaysia ni. Dia solo je, relax je. Dia boleh duduk dalam ranking, dan team pun dia nombor 3 so memang menarik lah.
Ya, betul sekali.
Yeah.
So
pro lagi spicy pro.
So yes, now we're gonna head over to the pro highlights there. Now we're gonna have a quick look at the start of the race. Fantastic stuff here, Pico already commenting, apa ni main bakar-bakar VR.
Let's go VR. Let's go.
So again, the same thing. We were expecting contact at turn 1 because it's such a tight entry and it's downhill as well. Very difficult on the brakes. But as it turns out, these guys managed to get through. Not so many drivers going out too wide, but there were some guys still on that AstroTurf really chancing their grip levels just a little bit through there. But this section here was fantastic. There was, however, unfortunately, one car that got spun around coming out of the Mercedes-Benz arena. So a little bit more stretched out, a little bit less NASCAR, if you will, than the AM start, but still relatively clean.
Yes, you can say so. I was expecting again out of turn 1 or out of the other turns as well, because these guys are really. I know these guys race really hard out in the first few laps, because I mean we've seen the first few rounds, but I was amazed. They proved me wrong, and I mean we have some incidents happening in the first lap, but nothing major. That's what I can say.
And all I can say is the first time we have had a weekend where the Porsche safety car stayed in the pits the entire time during the race. Paducah was in the driver's seat, ready to go to drive that Porsche around. We know how much he likes the Porsche, but kali ini tak jadi ya Paducah untuk keluar pada minggu ni dalam Porsche tu.
Tak ada. Untuk round yang ketiga ni sebenarnya untuk kategori pro dan juga amatur ni dia berbeza. Mana kategori pro ni dia bila dia dah masuk round yang ketiga dan dia masuk round keempat, memang dia akan jadi pelumba-pelumba dan juga tim dia akan jadi lebih agresif, lebih lagi.
Ya, itu dia. Dan kita boleh tengok dekat sini pun dah mula ada boleh dikatakan perasaan emosi agresifnya, bukan kira desperation tapi the will to win. So you can see here the will to win is strong. This is Ibrahim and Miko Nasi. And there's a bit of a civil war coming up into the RTL curve, I believe. This section is a very, very tricky corner here. And unfortunately, those two just tapped, which caused Ibrahim to spin around. Very unlucky for the young driver. We know he's very, very quick indeed. So we just about missed out on a very good battle at the front of the field there. But got spun around and was a little bit clumsy getting turned back around to try and get into the right direction. But all in all, probably not the best result for the Full Focus Racing guys. They were probably expecting the two drivers to come out of this quite safely.
I mean, look at this, guys. Are we going to expect something similar to the Battle of the Silver Arrows in F1? I don't know about that, but we're seeing something over here. But what I do really want to highlight is the rejoin from Ibrahim here. This is quite of a pretty sketchy rejoin, if I must say so, because he should have waited for the other cars to go past or go to the other way, the other side. But he decided to spin the car around back again and bolted. But that resulted, if you see closely, that resulted in a two-car collision after the crash. So that's a big no-no. I remember also highlighting this in the briefing. If you want to rejoin the track, please rejoin safely. And then you can see there and there, the contact happened between the two cars in front. And potentially spoiling the other cars, the other driver's race, and also your race as well. So very risky to do that. Not ideal.
Definitely, you can see the frustration and you can see the desperation trying to just get the car turned around and try and catch up back up to the leaders. But sometimes you do have to calm yourself down, take a quick breath before heading out there. So Paduka, apa komen pasal insiden ni dengan Ibrahim dan Nico?
Okay, ya kita kebanyakannya pelumba memang sebenarnya bukan sahaja di kalangan bersaing saja dia bersaing, tapi di kalangan satu teammate pun dia akan bersaing. Normal untuk para pelumba sebenarnya. Dan insiden bila berlaku kita tak boleh nak jangka. Mungkin mistake ataupun setup ataupun macam-macam perkara lah yang boleh kita andaikan dengan apa yang kita lihat tadi ni. Dia terspun ke ataupun mungkin dia terlanggar sendiri ke. Tapi seperti macam Ishak cakap tadi, kita memang nak mention pasal unsafe re-entry. Kita tahu kadang-kadang mungkin position kita nombor 1, tiba-tiba mungkin mistake kita ataupun ada orang langgar kita dari belakang ataupun apa saja kemungkinan yang berlaku, kita nak gain balik, kita nak position kita balik, tapi kita membahayakan orang sekeliling. Kalau kita guna bahasa yang betul, kita melibatkan insiden tu lebih besar dengan melibatkan orang lain. Sebenarnya dalam perlombaan, satu benda yang tak kira apa pun jenis perlombaan, real ataupun alam maya ni, satu benda je. Kalau kata itu adalah rezeki kau, memang luck lah. Sebenarnya luck dalam perlombaan ni memang paling besar lah. So kalau kata luck kau pada hari tu tanpa ada pelanggaran, memang luck kau. Tapi kalau tak ada luck, so kita kena terima lah. So kita boleh cuba untuk next race. Sepatutnya. Maksudnya dia boleh memilih untuk orang kata di sebelah rumput ni dia boleh masuk je sebelah kanan untuk pusing balik. Jadi saya harap untuk di masa akan datang driver tolong peka dengan keadaan sekeliling dan jangan sampai menyebabkan orang lain juga terlibat dalam insiden kita bila mana kita nak rejoin balik, re-entry balik dalam perlombaan.
Yeah, I remember the races that we did on Irshad's Discord and Facebook pages. There was Tata Kerja races that we were having so much fun with. And that was one of the biggest things we used to highlight was rejoining back onto the track because it can catch other drivers completely unawares. So hopefully the drivers can take that message away. Just take a quick breath, reassess, make sure it's safe, then turn the car around. That would be my piece of advice there. But it just goes to show how heated the situation can get. Obviously, he was so desperate to get going again. This kid's got a lot of talent, obviously, a lot of speed. He's really desperately trying to show that speed. But sometimes when you're in that situation, you really just have to take it, lump it in, and wait for that opportunity to turn around. But a real pity there. Could have been a nice three-way battle up at the front of the field, eh?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, after this crash, I have a look into his race pace. He can still go and charge up to these guys up ahead. And I think if he plays it safely after the crash with Miko there, he could definitely go up and to score so much more points for the team and for himself as well to prepare for the next round.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just some decision making that needs to be prioritized properly here. So, like you said, Max, take a step back, reassess the situation first. Then you should be able to have a clearer mind to decide what to do next.
I'm sure he'll take plenty of lessons from this weekend to try and challenge that leaderboard once more. So, very, very good stuff indeed. Now, this incident, very interesting incident coming out of here. This, I believe, is the Chofampang, I believe, that they're going side by side.
I think so too, yeah.
One of the Todat Motorsports cars, they're climbing up through the hills here. Now, just watch him going through this next set of corners there.
I
On the
remember this.
curb,
This is the first few laps.
big sideways moment on the grass. How did he keep that car in a straight line on the grass there? That car was headed straight for the barriers, but I guess Chok Fun Pang, the rally driver,
Massive
came out.
save from him. I mean, having a look at that incident, I thought he was going straight into the wall, but he drifts his way into the track back again safely, and then continue on racing. Amazing. This is his battle between. This is the first lap between Chok Fun Pang and Shaiful Arifin. But just to clear things up, Shaiful Arifin did not touch him. I have a look at the this incident closely. And this view, it looks like he touched him, but actually it doesn't. But still, what a save from Chok Fun Pang.
Absolutely. They had the presence of mind to make sure he rejoined at the right angle coming onto the track as well. Not too sharp an angle, but a very shallow angle to get back on, off the racing line as well, whilst on grass, which I have to tell you from real life experience, grass does not have as much grip as tarmac, especially on racing tires. It's very, very slippery stuff indeed. So as you can see, as he goes through the Michael Schumacher S's, this is the Dunlop curve, that hairpin at the other end of the lap, basically on the far end of the lap, and now we're coming back towards the pits. The Michael Schumacher S, he goes onto the curb here, which unsettles the car, and that's what causes him to go sideways there. But look at that. I think Tuku Jan might have given him quite a few points there for
I was
style.
about to say, yeah.
So, Paduka, apa pandangan dengan rejoin ni? Walaupun agak sideways, tetapi still boleh kira safe rejoin, ya?
Macam Mike cakap tadi, dia keluar dalam keadaan laluan yang betul. Di mana kereta semua memang tertumpu untuk duduk di laluan kanan. So dia memang dalam perlombaan memang luck bila mana dia boleh survive dalam keadaan speed, masuk dalam gravel tu semua. So dia boleh keluar dalam keadaan yang selamat tu memang maknanya dia faham dengan karakter kereta ni. So dia boleh survive. So tahniah untuk pelumba.
Ya. So memang boleh nampak Chok Fun Pang ni memang dah mula master kereta MX-5 ni. Dia boleh kawalkan kenderaan bila dia ada sideways ataupun ada apa-apa masalah, dia boleh kawalkan. Dan daripada segi mental, from the mental side of things as well, to have a very good mental attitude towards the race really helps there. I could definitely see that he wasn't panicking at any point throughout the race. The only thing he probably would have been doing was probably saying a few words that are probably not suited for this broadcast, as I would imagine, going through there. But apart from that, look at that. That's something a rally driver would pull off to show off to his mates. I'm not too sure if you would do it.
That's exactly why I put it in the highlights.
Fantastic stuff there. Tuku Irshad with the best highlights, served hot and fresh. Now this is the fourth incident there, which is Taki. Again, another point about the sportsmanship going through the course. This is coming into the Dunlop curve, very tricky braking zone here, and Taki loses it turning into the corner there. Again, these cars take a lot to try and turn around. He clips the curb, in fact, which really sets the car going, and he tries to go for the rejoin, but he decides to stop the car. And in fact, later on, he actually backs the car. Moves the car backwards a bit in order to leave some space, and I'm not sure if he quit or if he turned the car around on the grass and left on there. But that was a fantastic piece of sportsmanship, not to just drive back onto the track there.
Into the track, yeah. I got some explanation to do with this clip actually, because actually he did not tow his car back to the pits or whatever. He waited there until the traffic is all cleared and then resume racing back again. But in my replay, he suddenly disappeared because maybe it's something to do with my replays pulling or whatsoever. But I do know that he continued on racing, and he waited. So that's like top-notch sportsmanship over there. He lost it and then wait for the other cars to move first.
And that
as
really
you can see, that's
show.
quite of a big incident as well in front of him. So wise of him to slow down.
Yeah. So it just goes to show again, assess the situation, take a breath, assess the situation, and see how best to go forward. Of course, it does hurt when you have to sit there and you can see the seconds ticking away, and you just think, "Oh, I need to go, I need to go, I need to go, I need to go." But sometimes you're just sort of stuck, and you have to sort of lump it and wait for it. Taki there, absolutely professional driving, I believe. That's perhaps one of the best bits of sportsmanship throughout the race. Kan Paduka, memang sporting jugalah, dia boleh berhenti dan tunggu untuk kereta semua berlalu.
Ya, inilah yang kita cuba nak sampaikan beberapa insiden sebelum-sebelum ni, di mana dalam perlombaan memang walau macam mana pun, ya mungkin kita akan ada rasa sedikit kecewa, ataupun kita dengan apa yang kita berlatih, dengan apa yang kita habiskan masa dalam seminggu untuk satu malam ataupun 25 minit race. Tapi dalam perlombaan memang itu yang kita harus terima. Apa yang ditunjukkan oleh Taki ini adalah satu teladan yang baiklah, di mana dia boleh saja memilih untuk pergi susur ke tepi tu kan. Tapi kalau macam Ishak cakap tadi, dia tunggu sampai kereta clear dan dia keluar untuk teruskan dan habiskan race. Satu yang kita nak mention kat sini adalah di mana maksudnya rejoin dalam keadaan yang selamat. Tanpa menyebabkan orang lain terlibat dalam insiden yang kita sendiri lakukan.
So that's the most important thing there. When you are in a position that's compromised, as they say, when you just after an accident or just after a spin, the most important thing is to make sure that you get back to racing speed safely. And this really is, I think, one of the best examples of that. But now this is, I believe, Michael and Izan. Is it?
I think it's Michael and Aslan. Oh wait,
Aslan,
it is. Aslan, yes, Aslan.
My handwriting is getting worse by the day, I think. But that's Michael and Aslan Manap. They're really battling hard throughout the course of, I believe this might just be the final lap, or lap 3.
Lap 3 actually, lap 3.
Wow, when I first saw this clip, I must admit, I thought it was like some sort of last lap battle, because these guys were really going at it hammer and tongs throughout the course of the lap. But
I'm sorry. I must say this because I think the race evolution of this class, this series. This class racing for pro, it evolves a little bit more quicker than the amateur race we see previously. They evolve quite slowly to become, with separate gaps and stuff. But for this race, you can see the gaps start to show already within the third lap, in the fourth lap already. So you can see this kind of battle popping up here and there in the early stages of the race already.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's I guess it just goes to show that the pace is getting quicker and quicker and quicker, and the drivers are beginning to push earlier and earlier and earlier. Now we're starting to see drivers who are really trying to get their cars switched on by about lap 2 or lap 3. Lap 3 around here, if it was me, I guess I would still be on relatively cool tires, actually. These tires do take quite a while to warm up, and these guys are already attacking, already trying to switch their tires on like that and try and go for it. And of course, Michael has a lot of experience in the real world racing. Aslan, of course, has quite a bit of experience in sim racing as well. So two very experienced drivers battling it out, and quite an enjoyable bit of driving from the both of them.
What I like about this battle in particular is that it starts off from first turn into the second turn into the third turn. The thing is that in every exit of those turns, these guys they give ample space with for each other, so that they can go too wide into those corners together. As you can see from here, they give quite enough space for Michael, Aslan, and then Michael also give enough space. Mm-hmm. And you can see a slight contact here, but that's about it. I don't recall seeing any of these cars slow down or whatsoever for having any damage, but I guess you can say you can still race really hard, but still keep it safe.
That's the thing. You only need to leave a car's width. A lot of drivers leave half a car's width, which is not very useful to the situation. Some drivers leave about 3 car widths, which is also just as counterproductive. The trick is to just give enough room that he can pass if he wants to, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to make it easy for the other driver. So itu dia. Pada pandangan Paduka, memang ni boleh dikirakan battle yang special awareness tu memang penting dalam keadaan macam ni.
Ya, macam kita mention sebelum ni, mana give and take. Mana kita bagi peluang pada orang lain juga untuk bersaing bersama kita, duduk di sebelah, and then kita duduk di mana line kita, dan bagi ruang juga pada orang lain untuk sama-sama, dan kita dapat lihat yang sebenarnya benda tu macam kita cakap, walaupun kalau kita tengok daripada sudut yang pasal netcode, boleh saja jadi benda tu, boleh saja jadi insiden, tapi sebabkan luck dan kita dapat lihat kata battle yang macam ni, dan ni dikira sebagai satu battle yang macam Mac cakap, kedua-duanya adalah di level yang pro, di mana Matches sendiri pro di dalam dunia sebenar, dan Azlan di dunia simulator, dan mereka dapat bersaing bersama-sama.
Ya, memang boleh dikirakan memang boleh, very enjoyable racing out there. So just a couple of comments there. Thanks to Shami Azri for the like, Henry Chu, and I did see Ross Cass's name there for the share. So thanks to all you guys who are liking and sharing. For those of you watching at home, please hit that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share that sim racing love around. Now, a couple of the comments there before we head off to the next clip. Zero Blinker.
Benicio del Toro.
Is that right?
Yeah, that was more like an inside joke with Javi and me.
Yeah, and of course there's the other inside joke, which really isn't an inside joke at this point. It's fairly well known. Lloyd Lachlan, Tanakaja. Fantastic stuff there. Lloyd's been a fantastic supporter of the series. He's been racing with us for quite some time, and it's great to have him racing throughout the sim races that we have on board. So glad to see him at his flying best there. Better luck next time, Taki. Future champ, says Shami Azri. Yeah, hopefully we will be able to see him out there battling for the win in the next one.
Yeah.
So right now we're going to head over to the podium placings. Let's see what the top standings are. Ilham Hlabi takes home first place in 500 ringgit with of cash prizes. Miko Nasi did in fact cross the line in first, but unfortunately there was a bit of a contact at the last lap there, which meant that he drops down to second place with 300 ringgit for Full Focus Racing. And a very familiar face is popping up every single time we talk about the podium here. Dominic Ang is in third for URT Red. Sort of a silent assassin going through the course of the race, isn't he?
Indeed, he keeps he knows how to assess the situation. This week's theme is to assess the situation. Yeah, so he knows what the two guys up ahead are doing, the leaders are doing. So he just stayed back and do whatever he can do best with that car, and then just drive it home. And I mean, without mistakes, you can see how he can, score some points and also get on top of the podium as well. So kudos to Dominic Ang. I mean, he's been racing really, really well this past few rounds.
Absolutely, and you'd say tough luck there for Miko Nasi. He didn't, like I said, he did in fact cross the finish line in first position, but there was a penalty assessed against him, which meant he dropped down to second place. That's still going quite well for himself in terms of the championship there. He still takes home 18 points, which is going to help him quite a bit there. Ilham Hlabi really did have a fillip throughout the course of this race there. So Ilham is first, Miko Nasi in second, Dominic Ang is in third place, Saiful Arifin in fourth, Freddie Ang in fifth, and Ruben Wong in sixth place. A real eclectic mix of drivers at the front of the field there. We have the real life racing drivers and the sim racers all battling very closely together throughout the course of this championship. And of course, a shout out there to Iman Danish, and as well as Faiz Azlan and Nazmi there. Iman Danish, a 14-year-old prodigy of his father's, racing in sim racing. Very interesting stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, he's we call him the baby riser for 2021.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully you will see him rise.
Yep.
And that's Iman.
Absolutely. Afif Sumaimi is in 11th place with Tukwezanle in 12th, Jazrin Jelly in 13th place. Chufan Pang there in 14th, Azam Azni in 15th place, Taki in 16th, Khalif in 17th, Akid Basarom in 18th, Ayman Zubair in 19th, and Calvin Ha in 20th place. You see the gaps really. When it comes to the fastest lap times, you can actually read through them and see that they're not that much difference. There's about a difference of about 2 seconds between the quickest and slowest driver throughout the course of the race, isn't it?
Okay. We'll just cover up the error then.
Someone noticed a scoring error in the back there.
Sweep it under
we
the
do
rug.
apologize. We do apologize for that. We will have a correct version as soon as we possibly can. We do have it somewhere. We just couldn't find it somewhere. Oops, sorry. Baba Hafiz Kabarudin, that is Michael Hafiz, as he's known to his friends. Tukujan Lay, that was another unfortunate thing. Our wildcard, who I had a fantastic little chat with in the pre-race show, unfortunately just luck ran out for him. He got caught up in a couple of incidents, which meant that he ended up at the back of the grid there. Really, really unfortunate for him. Hopefully we'll be able to see him out there battling next time out. But Full Focus Racing still in the lead of the championship. 86 points plays, Total Racing 73, with URT Red in 58, with 58 points in third place. The top three here still have a mathematical chance of winning the title. It's going to be very hard for URT Red at this point moving forward, looking at the top two, Full Focus Racing and Total Racing, who are really stepping up the game and trying to gap the field at this point. But it does go to show that there is still a chance. Of course, we're only halfway through the season, and there's plenty more action still to come. Alrighty,
Right.
so I'm just hearing in the ear there. You did hear that as well, Ashad.
Yeah, I thought it was in my ear or something in my head or something like that, but it sure is a message, yeah.
So the message was that we will have the corrected information on Discord for the drivers very shortly. So do stay tuned on Discord. But the pro class drivers there still with Miko Nasi out front there, but he's definitely going to have to look over his shoulders with Ilham getting closer and closer still. Round 4 takes us to a fantastic track here. Alton Park Foster's Circuit. Nice, short, sharp racetrack that's going to promise quite a lot of action. Very undulating course and a very historic course as well. Born in the 50s and still being raced on today. It's going to be an amazing race for you guys as well.
It's going to be amazing with the Mazda, especially on this particular track, because I happen to give it a little spin over here with the Mazda, and I find myself having a lot of fun lapping the circuit over and over again. So yeah, I just can't wait to see what's in store for us in the race this weekend.
Absolutely. So pada ke dapat tak test ke ataupun pernah drive dekat Alton Park Fosters ni?
Ya, Alton Park Foster yang paling puaka sekali bila mana kita bertemu di turn 3 bawah tu yang seakan-akan hampir L lah bentuk dia. Dia bukan macam U-turn, dia macam L dekat situ dia ada satu curb yang tinggi dan situ biasanya berlaku insiden sebab memang kereta akan drop sampai 60 hingga 50 km. So memang sebab daripada atas tu masuk turn 1 nak turun ke turn 2 tu dia agak full throttle. So memang sedikit dia lebih kurang seakan-akan macam track Orange Park. Dan lita dia pun agak sempit dan memang hanya ada satu ruang saja yang boleh dapat tengok 3 wide berlaku, itu pun dekat depan grandstand, itu saja. Yang selebihnya semua memang hanya 2 kereta saja boleh duduk di atas ni. So saya boleh jangkakan yang perlumbaan di Alton Park Foster akan lebih orang kata drama.
Ada bau-bau FCY ke?
Kita harapnya tidak membawa keluar FCY kerana kita dimaklumkan pada hujung minggu ni driver FCY kita tiada disebabkan balik kampung. Jadi kita harap-harap tiadalah FCY.
PKP, FCY driver tak boleh
yes,
keluar,
so
tak
kita
boleh datang negeri.
keluar.
Yes,
Yes.
betul.
Alamak,
Kita harap pelumba dapat masa yang ada ni mula berlatih bersama-sama untuk ada chemistry bersama. Kita setakat bumper to bumper, tap manja tu alah sikit je.
So there we have it. Terima kasih kepada Paduka Syarif Hassan. Thank you for joining us as COC. Terima kasih sangat.
Yep. Terima kasih kembali pada pihak Adrian Impact dan juga XOX kepada sudi menjemput saya pada malam ini. Dan kita mengharapkan round 4 nanti battle yang lebih menarik. Cuma nak tertanya-tanya lah kan, mungkin penonton yang ada di ruang chat tu dan juga dua komentator yang berada bersama saya ni boleh bagi predict adakah VR dapat mengatasi triple pada perlumbaan ini nanti.
Interesting.
Susah nak cakap lah. Kecuali kalau saya masuk sendiri, saya maybe boleh cakap lah.
Okay, kita menunggu.
Dari kontroversi, dari panas lah.
Kita boleh jawab.
Yang ada bilik juga VR kan di sebelah sini. Dan ada juga geng yang memakai skrin juga di sini. So mungkin kita testing jugalah.
Ada civil war juga nanti.
We'll try out. We'll have a shot in the VR and we'll have me. Yep, there we go. Me in the screen for the battle. So that is going to be it for this show. Do tune into the pre-race show 22nd of January at 9 o'clock. Race day is on 24th of January on Sunday at 8 o'clock, and the post-race show same time, same place next week. But special thanks goes out to XOX Mobile, XOX, XOX eSIM, and Estremo Oil, our sponsors. A special thanks to all of you guys out there. Kamal Ali there, just hitting that like button, and all these other guys there as well. Thank you all for your support. Thanks to all the support of the competitors who make this series happen, and also thanks to our media partner, Gallery Creator, really helping us spread the love of sim racing around. Do check out their social media for all the coolest cars and their merch store as well on Shopee. But for now, that's going to be it for me, Matthew Palmer. Thanks to Tiku Ershad for accompanying me this evening. And we'll see you all in the next broadcast. Ta-ra!
Fist bump. Slowest fist bump ever. But before we go, sorry, I just want to say VR for life.
Screens.